And I'm a paper chaser.
Just live
T.I. Eucharia, live your life. Anthem, guys. That was such an anthem.
Yeah.
And yes, we are living our best lives. And our Thursday tradition is the realest. And it's a special dedication to all the OGs in the building. Yes, like our producer. Oh my God! Great music out there. Welcome.
Okay. I know, right? We can tell you for a fact that nobody does it better than E-Splash on TVC when it comes to giving you memories of a lifetime and taking you way back. I mean, in time to some classic tunes.
Yes, indeed. So catch us if you can. We are on the fast lane this afternoon, and our throwback playlist is sick, if we do say so ourselves. Now, you can be a part of the nostalgic moment by tweeting to us at TVC Connect with the hashtag eSplash on TVC. And of course, by calling us on the numbers on the screen. Now, to catch in on all our internet-enabled devices, all you have to do is to go to our website at www.tvcentertainment.tv. It is your girl, Amanda Dara, and today you can call me Amanda Dara.
Yeah. My name is Moladele, guys. Welcome aboard.
All right, and you know it's your home girl. It's the host with the most. It's a jewel in the crown. My name is Honeypot.
Alrighty, guys. Today on the show, there is so much for you. Yes. And so let's start off. All right, there's entertainment news coming up very soon. Then there's celebrity birthday shout-outs. And then there's Rewind, where we'll take you through a quick history lesson of today in entertainment history.
Yes, indeed. And right after that, I'll be taking us over to the Tweetville corner for some humor and savagery from social media.
Where Are They Now comes up after, where you'd find out what your favorite Nigerian artists from back then are up to these days.
Alrighty, later on we'll do some ranting on the Truth segment. Then you get a recap of all that you might have missed in the news. Then on Daily Top 5, we'll be taking a look at 5 throwback soap operas. I'm looking forward to that. And of course, we'll have a guest in the studio. Then there'll be Trending Thursday. There's so much, guys.
Yes, so much to do. So let's get started already.
Yes.
E-Splash will be back right after this break.
All right, guys, it's time for entertainment news. So let's begin. Blackface discusses African Queen remake and why a Plantation Boys reunion might never happen. Nigerian artist Amedu Augustine, a.k.a. Blackface Niger, has released his version of Tubaba's 20-year-old monster hit, African Queen. In a recent interview with us, he explained that he felt it necessary to do a remake to show his original intention for the song, which he claims was written by him. When asked if he would ever reunite with his former Plantation Boys bandmates, Two-Face and FaZe, for an album or a tour, just for old time's sake and, of course, for the fans, he led us to believe that that might never happen. However, he further explained that since he has rights to the Plantation Boys name, he has a new strategy for the band. Let's take a look at the interview.
There's need for upgrade.
Just like the sun, light up the earth, you light up my life.
This is that he knew. So these are the 2 verses he knew, so he had to write a 3rd verse to it.
I love you, I love you. Oh, yeah.
Not like everybody associates African Queen with Two-Face. Two-Face is not the only singer that has sang African Queen. There are other people that have sang African Queen, even beautiful, even more beautiful than how Two-Face tried to sing it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So he's not the only singer. And so I just felt the need for, you know, if you want to teach your child new tricks, it's you to decide when to teach your child. Nobody's going to tell you you should have been teaching him yesterday. You know, I run this place. I decide when I sing. I decide when I don't.
You are my African queen. You, baby, girl, I'm my dream. You are. You take me where I never been. You take me. You make my heart go ting-a-ling-a-ling.
It doesn't really have to be the initial members. Adele, for example, coming to sing a song for Plantation Boys, like, this is a Plantation Boys song, but it's going to be sung by Adele. And the song is written by Mr. Banky W. For example, it doesn't really have to be this vocal, because there are vocalists all over the world. I don't know if you heard Johnny Drill. Johnny Drill singing my first song I ever wrote in my life, You and I. You see, I wrote that song, and Two-Face didn't write it, FaZe didn't write it, I wrote it. So if Johnny Drill is singing what I wrote, it tells you that there's several people that can also sing. If I could write for the band, and somebody else person can sing for the band.
My African queen, yeah. Girl, you the shine like the star up in the
The album The Return by the Plantation Boys, the band, is coming out in 2020. So watch out for the album The Return by Plantation Boys. You're going to be surprised. You can have Adele singing on the album. You can have Beyonce. You can have Jay-Z rapping. But it's Plantation Boys.
Now this one is for the black woman.
Okay, so obviously we ended that with his own, his remake here. So I found this interview very, very interesting. You could tell that there's a difference, and we were just talking about this, you could tell that there's a difference in composure between the Blackface that we knew from, like, say, even last year when he was here to the Blackface that we see now in this interview, and of course the other interviews that have surfaced recently. I feel like there is an intentional plan to calm down and, you know, be careful about being as aggressive as he was before. He made some very interesting points, salient points. He talked about how, yes, fine, it's been 20 years, but it's his song. He wrote the song, so he can decide when he chooses to put out his own version. Also, his initial plan for the song was a reggae version, and so that's why he had to release this one for people to see the initial plan. And apparently, his grouse is the fact that, okay, so I wrote the song. I gave to Baba, or Two-Face at the time, permission to write this, to put out this song, but he wishes that he was there in the studio when Two-Face was recording it, so that he would, you know, give more direction as to how you get. So he gave an instance about how, he had a song that someone wrote for him, and when he wanted to put out the song or do the song, he was like, yo, this is how I'm trying to do it. What do you think? What do you think? So I think he wanted more creative input, not just...
Was he compensated?
So I think that's another thing that's, you know, upsetting him, because obviously everybody knows the song as Tubaba's song. So obviously all the credit is going to him.
No, I mean in terms of, writers.
Oh yeah, so I don't think that happened, which is another reason that we've obviously heard him talking about this for so long, so long. So I think he wishes that his credit would also come to him. And yeah, I think what really stuck out is the fact that he seemed pained about the fact that, look, I wrote this song now. It's my song. I gave you permission, yes, which I think should really end the matter. You gave permission, but he wanted more input.
Okay.
Okay, so I read a lot of comment online after this interview TVC did with Blackface, and you know, people are still of the opinion, like I saw a lot of people calling him out and saying that, so you think your own version will go far? And I'm like, why are people like this? This is his song. He said he wrote the song. He can wake up, he can do the song today and wake up tomorrow and say, I still want to do another one. So it is not about, you know, your own will not go far as Two-Face's own went far. So the thing is, I think people should just understand that, especially when you have a baby, you have a project, you give birth to this baby, this project, and there is a way you want it to go. So I think people should just calm down. And it's very unfortunate that, especially on social media, you see that when somebody is very popular, they don't get to even wait to hear his own side or the other person's side. If you're so unpopular or you're not as popular as the other person, people take sides blindly. So this person is just pained. And I think that somebody has been talking to him, because from what I can see, he calms down. In fact, the interview with Wake Up Nigeria 2 with Mary, it was another Blackface I saw entirely. So if this can happen, kudos to whoever, if that was what happened, you know? So I think that because, I mean, I think this person should just be listened to. He just wants to be heard, and he wants some things. So I think that we can move on from there.
I beg to differ with that, because if you're saying he wants to be heard, I mean, this is not the first time that this issue is coming up. I think it came up sometime last year as well, even before last year. This has been a conversation that when you now think of Blackface, the newer generation is going to think of him comparing himself to Two-Face, which I don't think is good for his PR or his image at all. Now, yes, you can say he's the one who wrote the song, and that is the reason why I asked if he was financially compensated. Now, if he wasn't compensated, then he has an argument. But is this the way to go about it? Is this the manner of approach? How does this help him? How does this help his career? I don't see it helping him. I see it making him look like a counterfeit, or making him look like someone to be compared with Two-Face. Now, you can say, yes, African Queen is the song that really brought Two-Face out, but you can't say that is the only thing that Two-Face has to his credit. So yes, let's look at this arguments. Let's look at the fact that you wrote this song, I didn't get credit. But can we move on? Can we hear your new material? Can we see more of your creative inputs? I think that's where I'm at.
I guess for him, it's hard to move on because he feels like he didn't get what was due him, like, you know, money and all those things. Now, second thing though, a different side to this whole thing, I do feel like if he had, because Plantation Boys were a big deal back then, and not just for Two-Face, for Blackface Niger, for Face. They individually were known for their talent. So here's what I think. I think if he had done this remake, if he had released this, perhaps way earlier, like closer to the time that Two-Face released his, maybe people would have wanted to listen to it, as in maybe people would have given him ear. Versus now where it's like, guy, it's been 20, I'm sure people are like, dude, it's been 20 years, chill, man. Nobody is going to believe you. Two-Face has even moved on from African Queen.
To be honest, I'm not even bothered about 20 years or 25 years, because if we're in a correct system, what is due you is due you. Your royalties are due you, even if it's 20 years after. But what I'm saying is that don't let that be what people think of you for. When you think Blackface, you should think of a fantastic musician, a fantastic singer, songwriter, not somebody who is always fighting with Two-Face. And he's slowly becoming that person. Because whether you like it or not, 20 years is a very long time. Now, Two-Face is still relevant to a 15-year-old, a 16, 14-year-old, because he has been making more music, he has been evolving with his career, but you don't want to be known to just people who knew 20 years back.
Okay, so I would say that I don't think he was comparing himself to Two-Face. It was just asking for acknowledgement. It wasn't comparing himself. That is, I mean, then I would say again that, well, if he says that this is how he wants to move on, because he has had other works. He released songs. In fact, even when he came here, we still listened to his new songs. So it's not as if he's not been working. But if this is what gives him peace.
Anyway, he did talk about how there's a hearing, I think, next month. He wasn't even too sure of the date, but I think he said October 5th or so. So we'll see how things unravel. Also, for those hoping for a Plantation Boys reunion, that's not happening. Because he also talked about how, look, tomorrow I can write a song and Adele will be the one to sing on it, and I'll say it's Plantation Boys. So he feels like, or he said that he has trademark rights, he has rights to the name. So whatever he wants to do with the band name from here on out is his business. So if you, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the Johnny Drill.
Yeah. Talk about it.
Yes, exactly. So he's like, if tomorrow I want to say Johnny Drill come, Banky W come, Adele come, let's form Plantation Boys, then he can decide to do that according to him, that he has rights to the name and whatever he does.
How does that seem to you? As you're hearing it, how does that seem to you?
Look, if you have rights to a name, then you can do whatever on earth you want to do with the name. It's your business, your rights, your life, all right?
All right, on that note, we're just going to move on to some more news. Now, in the foreign scene, Lori Harvey shares photo of flat tummy. Lori Harvey, daughter of talk show host Steve Harvey, might have successfully dispelled the rumors that she's expecting a child with American rap mogul Didi after she shared a photo showing her flat tummy on Instagram. Now, you recall that the pregnancy rumors began after Didi was pictured rubbing her belly while on vacation together in Mexico. The rumors were further fueled by the fact that Lori was seen wearing a baggy shirt. Well, the model's most recent picture on Instagram is of her in a bikini when clearly her belly is flat. Now, whether or not the photo is a recent photo is still very much unclear, but you could see that, you know, very flat in there, no baby coming.
Then again, some people, their stomach will be flat until like 4 or 5 months,
so there are people like that. So.
That's not to say that, you know, she's pregnant. I mean, again, we don't know. These things are rumors. You see someone in a baggy shirt. You know how the industry is now. You know how bloggers are. You know how news is. You see someone in a big shirt, Didi's touching her belly.
No, their own paparazzi is on another level.
It's on another level.
I don't think they sleep.
Do you think that? And you're like, get out of my face, fast. They're so annoying. It's like, annoying. You're in Mexico. Are you on vacation? How did you see us in that little corner? How? But yeah, so we have to see how things go. It's still unconfirmed as to whether they're dating or not. Of course, we don't know if she's pregnant, but she didn't, even the caption of that photo, she didn't put anything. She didn't address anything. Just put a picture of her in a bikini. We don't know if it's a throwback. We don't know if it's a recent. We don't know if she did it to address the rumors, whatever.
The months will tell.
Yes.
Wait now, time will always have the answer. You are pregnant, or you're not pregnant. So you have HIV, or you don't have HIV. Don't worry, time will tell. All right, moving on. Kevin Hart discharged from hospital. American comedian Kevin Hart has been discharged from the hospital 10 days after he was involved in a car crash. You will recall that the 40-year-old comedian was hospitalized after his car crashed through wooden fencing on the side of the road, rolled over and landed in a ditch in the Los Angeles area. Of course, we also told you that also in the car where his friend Jared S. Black, who was driving the vehicle, and Jared's fiance, that's Rebecca Bruxterman, who is the personal trainer of Kevin Hart's wife, Nico Hart. According to reports, the ride-along actor has left the hospital and has been transferred to a live-in rehab facility doing intense physical therapy to recover from his car crash injuries and surgery. Sources close to the comedian also say he has a positive attitude and keeps saying, "I'm grateful to be alive."
Yes, and we're also grateful that Kevin Hart is alive and well and obviously doing quite fine, even despite the very serious accident. And I'm happy that he's coming out to say, I'm grateful. You know, most times when you become a huge international celebrity or superstar, it just feels like you're larger than life, like you're almost close to God, like after God is you. So these kind of things just puts you into perspective, it humbles you and just makes you know that, yo, you have to be grateful because everything could have just gone like this.
I'm really happy for him. One thing I have seen, or I think we've seen about Kevin Hart is that his comeback game is strong. So even when he cheated on his wife and people were like, yo, and then right after that, not too long after that, the Oscars thing happened with the homophobic tweets that were brought back. And then of course this happens, if it was Nigeria, they'll say enemies are chasing him.
Village people.
But yeah, so his bounce back game is strong. So I'm just looking forward to seeing him get back on stage and do his thing.
I just like the fact that, you know, things like this, when they happen and you're alive, you just have that, you know, that thing, as you said, that it humbles you and it makes you see that, this life is very important and anything could have happened because, you know, especially how we say it in this climate, like people who are not even, people who are better than you are gone and you're still alive. Like, it's just God's grace.
You all need to stop saying that.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that prayer.
My pastor is like, why do you have to say people died?
Yeah, you know.
But then I want to talk about the fact that, interestingly, I like what you said about Kevin Hart's comeback game being very strong because he's one person that something happens in his life, the next thing you just hear, let me explain, concert, and you have a 2-hour, very funny, you know, stand-up show about what happened in his marriage.
And he's not
about
afraid
what
to
happened
make jokes
with his
about them.
He loves making jokes about his life.
And guess what? People just accept him. They forgive him, like, wholeheartedly.
His wife will be there laughing.
Yes, and we move on from there. And I think that's just life. When you laugh at yourself, I mean, when people say other things about you, you don't even care. Because after all, you laugh about your problems.
I'm looking forward to this one. The roll and toss. Okay. On that note, this is a wrap on entertainment news. It is now time for a celebrity birthday shout-out. Now, today, American singer and actor Jennifer Hudson turns a year older today. Yes, this actress, who we remember rose to fame in 2004 from being a finalist on the 3rd season of American Idol. And today, she is 30 years. Wow.
So I particularly like Jennifer Hudson. I love the fact that she can sing. And then she can act. And apart from that, our weight loss journey,
honestly
gosh.
Speaking, like she's one person that she owned it. She wasn't... I don't
you know
think
how you tell yourself
there's a thin
that
line between
I can do it, and then you do it. I love her.
Really nice.
All right, we also have English actor and film producer Jason Statham, who is he's celebrating today, and he turns 52, and he's still doing stunts, guys. That is impressive. Now, he's one of the main actors in the recently released movie Hobbs and Shaw.
That's
Expo, people.
Also, we have American rapper, songwriter, and media personality 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz. He is 42 years today. Not forgetting American R&B, pop, and gospel singer and actor Christopher Rubin Studdard, who turns 41 today.
Some days are just loaded like that. Like you have like 1,001 people celebrating. Oh my gosh, happy birthday to everyone celebrating today. We celebrate it here on Splash.
Yes, we do.
We do.
7 days. Such a jam.
A jam.
Okay. All right, welcome back to the show. It is Splash, and it is now time for Tweet View, where we bring you all of the savagery, humor, and cray-cray moments on social media. Are you guys ready?
Yes, we are.
All right, let's do this.
Ready.
So this one is from Dr. Hausa Kuku. And this is this
Griffin.
guy, Peter Griffin from Family Guy. And he says, I can't believe that. Now he's thinking, I can't believe that one day my kids will also block me from viewing their status.
I love it on WhatsApp.
Whatever you do to your parents, they will do.
They will do.
But I wonder sometimes, like some things we do, I'm like, oh my goodness,
No.
my kids are going to do this, can I handle it?
We always think we're going to be the cool parents that's going to talk to our children. Our children will tell us everything. We'll be best friends. And you'll be so sure. You know when she has a boyfriend. But it doesn't just quite happen that way.
I didn't block my mom.
then-
I just never followed her. I don't even think I'm still following. I think maybe recently I did. But that's just because she's not active. But why would I block? Like, what am I doing with my page that I will block her?
It's awkward. Imagine putting up, like, you know how
Oh my God, Simi's mom is always commenting on her stuff and you're like, Mom, stop.
Yeah.
my mom is always commenting on stuff. Even when I talk about having boyfriends, she just put eye. You know those big eyes? She just put them,
Who taught her?
Okay. I think the only one I noticed about your mom was when you did the South African thing, and then she even talked some more about.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I was like,
Supportive mama.
Oh, wow. So, yes, my children are not going to block me. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, they're not going to
they're not
block me.
going to
Don't worry.
block me. Don't worry.
Okay, this thing that is always trending is Skopatu Mana. All right, so we're talking about university lecturers today. And Avonta says, any course they don't call by the course name, but by the lecturer, fear that course. It's true.
Yes!
It's true.
But I'm sure you had stories about this because of the kind of uni you went to. People call yourselves important university, but I'm sure you guys had. I'm sure you had stories like this.
But you know that we are important university, so
Oh
please,
my God.
that's even
Sorry,
another.
Awani.
I will not.
You're the one that gave me this.
Yes, now I was just sitting down,
Sitting pretty.
You have to look for my trouble.
When you just hear Professor Omotunde, no, that
No, no,
course. Some people
Omotunde's
are
course
doing
now.
carryover. Like, some people are in that school for extra 4 years because of that course.
I think we can all relate. Definitely.
Yes,
I like
we
this.
can.
I think when it comes to Nigeria, you can always just relate. I
Yeah.
don't know of private universities, but I know of public universities that, you know what, you can
Same
always,
thing, oh.
you can always relate to.
Same
Kai, are you sure
And they
teach you
always
people-
say it at the beginning of the class, some people are going to fail this course.
Yeah.
Some people are going to do
And
it.
it's like, why should it
What's
excite
that?
you?
Yeah,
I think we talked about
we
this.
talked about this.
All right, moving on to more tweets. This one is from King Ise. I can't really see that name. All right, this one says assassin. It's a conversation going on between an assassin and someone. It says, come out. You know you can't hide from me. Me. Quiet.
Quiet. Don't see me.
Assassin. Let's do this peacefully. I know you're in there. Me.
Quiet.
Assassin. Ice on my neck.
Eyes on my wrist, you know.
That's what I do.
So this is so funny because I've been seeing a lot of these tweets. They'll be like,
No,
Amdraba. They'll put,
I'm dead.
Amdraba, come out. I can't see you. I'll be like, no, you be quiet. I'm not coming out. I'll put, Tatari me one time.
Duh.
That's how they'll catch you. Like,
You know, things that you just get carried away with. But guess what? God forbid bad thing. As you were saying, assassin, as in, I don't want to imagine it. You don't get this one. You don't say so. You will just be there. Your brain will not even process story.
but you know this kind of joke that if I showed my mom, she'd be like, God forbid you.
African parents.
Place this one.
No, you're even going too far. You say African parents. In fact, they are passing it on to the children. So you say, some people you cannot play with them. But you
They'll
say,
laugh,
are you
right?
the last in this queue? Say, God
I will never be
forbid.
last
In
in
Jesus'
Jesus'
name.
name.
I'll never be.
Okay, fine, but are you the last on this queue though?
No, we don't play with our
don't.
utterances. They call it
Yes.
utterances. All right, this one is another tweet from Chief the Daddy. And it says, I was checking pictures of my babe's phone when First Bank sent. I'm alone now. You can start coming. Is this normally?
No, it's not. It's
looks like-
I'm Travis Scott.
Travis, oh my
Kylie
gosh.
Jenner's the guy.
And for real, when they say he looks like
Yeah, they do look alike, right?
No, it's just the hairstyle, actually. And I think the oblong face. All right, it's
this
fine.
this is another savagery up in here. For me to compare him to
Amanda
Naira
moved from the real savagery to Naira Marley and Travis Scott. What is going on with the world?
Okay, so that's Travis Scott, and he's actually trying to solve this equation.
Yes.
So why is First Bank telling you that they're alone? The whole bank is alone.
Or Shegu Mechanic. Why is Shegu Mechanic telling me I'm alone now? You can start coming.
Funny things.
Or
This is
Bolaji Electrician.
another
Funny things people
level.
do, right?
Edible catering. All
Yeah.
right.
When you save,
Moving on.
when you save the
I
name as
remember, right?
Moving on to some more tweets, yeah. Apostles to the Wobe says, carry me, they go. Baba, carry me, they go, they go, they go. So where exactly? Where are we going? Gone.
Okay.
So Iniolua says, but you know this song is just, Spirit lead me where my trust is without borders.
That's crazy.
Oh no, as in, what do I ever say to this? Because I love this song.
Yo.
Like,
Yo.
honestly, where is that? No borders. What is going on?
Amanda, this is the funniest thing I saw this week. This is the funniest thing on earth because I like both songs and it really gets you like, Yo, this is spirit, like spirit lead me.
Okay.
Lead me there.
Okay.
Baba, carry me
So
there.
I
People
saw,
should leave
I
me
saw
alone.
one that is very, very close to this. So the person says, do you know, sometimes you're just praying and one sex scene, like...
What?
Just flash.
Do you people pray?
I don't know. Wait,
No, you're
what?
praying, you're serious. And you know how you're just singing? Oh, you're saying, and then you're just singing praises, so you're moving around the house. And then you know that sometimes when you're praying and singing, your mind will just wander,
Yeah.
but you're still singing.
Yes.
And then you just go and remember.
Just start praying
You
for
remember?
forgiveness.
Want to say labor.
You just remember, you say, God forgive me, forgive me.
That is so true. My pastor is always like, stop closing.
Josopi. Father Lord, in Jesus' name, Josopi. How? No, honey pots,
Be
you have
like-
broken this table.
Be like me. Be like me.
So how do you guide your heart?
Thank you for asking. Listen to your Jesus music in the morning on your way to work. Purify your mind.
My darling.
And then when you
You
get
have
to work,
not
you-
woken up thinking of Totori.
My darling, I have 2 churches beside my house. They are like this. I'm just saying.
still just up during prayer.
On that note, it's a wrap. That has been Twinville, but the savagery is here.
All right, thanks so much, Amanda. Thank you indeed, Amanda. Up next is Where Are They Now? Typical.
Thursdays to dance.
Yes, we
I've
do.
noticed, actually.
We choose
especially
Thursdays to
honey
vibe,
pots, yeah?
Mandy.
Vibe, and we vibe different on Thursdays.
You know when they're saying
Okay.
something bad about me, but you now change it to the person and say, lower. So that's what Honey Paul was doing when they were singing
in
the
now,
song.
because in
Want to-
Jesus'
they want to
name,
take
nobody
your
will
style-
collect my
your
right
style
from
from
me.
I told you about utterances.
Yes.
Very, very, very,
Very
good.
key, Amanda, very.
All right, welcome back to the show. It is time for Daily Top 5. Now, you know how it gets, very nostalgic when it comes to this very lovely segment on Thursdays. Yes. Now, remember how we had to rely on several imported series aired on many Nigerian television stations? Today, we'll be throwing it back to those lovely soap operas that we used to rush back home to avoid missing. Yes. Now, the very first one on our list is called Generations.
Yes.
You remember that
Yeah.
one? Generations was a South African soap opera created in 1994 with a plot that celebrates the dreams and aspirations of South Africans. Now, it was set against the backdrop of the advertising industry, and there was suspense and intrigue. It was the order of the day in this soap opera. I starred the likes of Tina Jaxa, Stella Makeka, and Cube, and so many, many more.
I think we might have a clip of this. Can we throw it back a bit?
Of course,
Let's throw it
we
back.
should.
All right, let's throw it back. What is that coat he was wearing? I can't even. I'm unable to can.
To now think that this is still showing because I
Yes.
still
After
I caught
26
it. I caught
years.
it recently.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Like it's still showing. Yeah.
And this was one of the ones I actually remember because everyone in school was talking about it.
Yeah.
And so you had to be watching it. So I didn't even care at first, but I had to just know what was going on.
The coats, that was a thing. What you mean? Fashion.
Fashion, baby.
That was fashion
Yes, so.
right there, back then. And guess what? Fashion actually revolves. So who knows? People have been wearing coats again. All right, can we move on? Secrets of the Sand. The soap opera was Brazilian and was originally released in 1993. Secrets of the Sand told the story of twin sisters, Ruth and Rachel. A rich man falls in love with Ruth, who truly loves him too, but he gets involved with Rachel, whose after is...
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. And I remember so well, some people will say Rachel, some people will say Raquel, but Raquel was what they actually called it in that
You
soap
could
opera.
even see from the makeup that she's the one that is after the wealth.
Yeah.
And there's some things that it will help
Yeah.
you tell.
Yeah. It's hilarious. All right, guys, moving on to our next soap opera, Passion. Yes, this is an American soap opera created in 1999, and it followed the lives and various romantic and mystical adventures of the residents of Harmony. Passion centered on the interactions amongst members of its multiracial core families. Let's take a look. Let's throw it back a bit. Yo, I remember Passions. Passions was, I think we can all agree that it was a
Passion.
thing.
Yeah, it was a thing.
It was
really a thing.
Them Tabitha and all those people.
Oh, Tabitha. Oh,
For
my
me, it
God.
was a struggle. Because I just remember that the TV was always never clear. You could never, it was just always very pixelated. But you just stay there and watch it with the thing just like that. You can't even hardly even tell their faces, but everybody just glued to it.
Maybe you were not just so keen, but the thing is, we followed it. I mean, we followed it, and people always had the
I'm saying,
gist.
even with that struggle,
even with that
follow it
worry.
was a thing.
Maybe that's why I'm even so
Passion.
short-sighted.
Because of passions, blame passions for your
I
short-sightedness.
don't know. Like when they would say they'll move close to the TV, you want move close to the TV, move close to the, and the lights now start affecting your eyes.
My goodness.
All right, so now let's talk about Second Chance. Who was Second Chance?
I did.
Now, this particular Spanish telenovela produced in the early 90s and aired in 2005 had many of us waiting for the next episode all the time. Second Chance was about a man who comes back from the dead and discovers dark secrets about his beautiful widow. So let's take a look at this. You know what I even remembered when we were talking? You know how Nigerians can be very funny and they mute what you're saying and they make it sound like they're speaking Yoruba. And so they say,
There's a guy that does that on Instagram. Nollywood.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Or something like,
And now, especially with during the day, I said,
but yeah, so it's interesting because the telenovela culture didn't just start today, but it feels like it's even more popular now than it was back then. So it's interesting to see because, hey,
I mean,
Amanda,
it is.
salons.
But then we didn't have a choice, you know, and that was, this was like a part of the culture. When you finish from school, you just rush home. At least me and my best friend, I don't know.
That's why it's crazy now because you have a choice, Amanda.
Okay, so
and you're still watching telenovela.
So, no, so that time, you know, we had like one of them, not like they brought a whole. Now you have like choices, people watching, and I never just understand. That time we used to understand, but now I cannot even sit down and watch Telemundo. What?
And
you cannot catch me.
And they made it even nicer now because, I mean, there's English subtitles in everyone. So, yeah, really nice.
All right, moving on to another soap opera on our list, When You Are Mine. Now, remember watching Mexican TV series When You're Mine? Well, it was aired on TV stations in 2005 and became one of the most loved soap operas in Nigeria. At the time, When You Were Mine told the story of Paloma, a migrant worker of a coffee plantation who fell in love with her Prince Charming, Diego, who was able to take over the plantation. Now, the duo, however, faced a lot of ups and downs in their relationship.
Oh, I love Thursdays.
Did you see that TV?
Yes. A box. That's what you can't even. But that's what it was.
See what's going on now.
That's what it was
Later
back
you
then.
say women are not materialistic. It's the thoughts that count.
No, but really, I mean.
One thing that Nigerians did to this soap opera though is they changed the name. Paloma and Diego. You watch out. What happened to Diego last night? I'm like, huh?
But how will it be sweet?
Paloma and Diego.
I'm like, what?
How will it be sweet now? How will it be sweet now? How?
Sometimes you wonder if you're talking about the same thing.
The same thing.
Is it When You're Mine? Yes, When You're Mine. Okay.
And so when you're now too posh for them, the way they look at you, because really, I don't go to the market speaking this kind of English show. Not that I am forming, but when I go to the market, I tell me my money. Okay,
Guys, on that note, it's a wrap on the first half of the show. Still to come, though, we have entertainment news recap, Chew It Off, our guest, and Trending Thursday. Guys, do not go anywhere. Yo, Trending Thursday, this is the place to be right now. See you guys very soon.
Okay, welcome back. So far, we've brought you the new Celebrity Birthday, Rewind, Tweetville, and Where Are They Now? And Daily Top 5.
Yes.
It's time to chew it off. We're in a minute or less, so one of us will vent about what's currently bothering us. And this day, very day, it falls on Amanda's table.
Amanda. I heard that thing on Monday. I was passing out.
Honestly.
Amanda.
So, you see your nose.
Oh, brother.
How guys?
Are you blushing?
I'm blushing. All right, now on a more serious note, Nigerians, can we stop airing our dirty laundry in public?
Tell me, boo.
Like, honestly speaking, every day I go to this very popular blog that I'm sure everybody knows, and I'm just wondering how an outsider perceives Nigeria. They must just think we're such a horrible place to live in. It's always one bad thing, one celebrity's marriage breaking up, somebody losing another person, fraud, you know, all sorts of nonsense. And I'm just like, why are we so, I was so excited about it, you know, and we make it hashtags and it's trending. And I'm like, you don't understand the implication of what you're doing. It's fun, right? I think we actually like it. Like, we're one community of people who, we enjoy savagery. We enjoy that clapback nature.
And you're saying this from the comments that you'd usually see.
As in,
right?
Comments, the people who posted. You know, the other day I saw a video where Davido was arguing with someone, and someone was there at 5 a.m. to record this video, and I'm like, wow. As in, this is a job to you. Like some people take Tweetville as a job.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
So I think this happens everywhere, to be fair. And you talked about, yes. You talked about it being on popular blogs. That's what blogs do. Blogs are trashy. Blogs are not, they don't try to be, you know, prim and proper. They're trashy. They're here for the tea. They're here for the drama.
Yeah.
The Shade Room is like that. All these guys are like that. I mean, the Shade Room, I think it was even them that first put out the picture of Diddy and Larry Harvey, him touching her belly. Everybody's here for drama. The Maureen
And then we
Blossom
also
thing,
endorse dramas. Like the more
Yes, we do.
dramatic you are, the better for you as a brand. I don't understand.
Which is sad
that.
and it's trashy.
I mean, one of the very few stories I really enjoyed following up was the story of this lady that T.Y. Bello discovered.
Yeah, Jumoke.
Jumoke.
Okay.
But how many stories are there? It's
But we
so
were also excited
few
about
and far
that,
in
weren't we?
between.
We were excited about that, but the thing is, what sells the most? And even if you look at the whole world, you see that even bad news travels faster than, so you hear somebody has just graduated, you have not even heard, you know, you don't even know anything about that person, then you hear another thing, and then before you call another person, you say, I don't hear now.
Yeah, it's very sad though. I mean, look at two headlines. Blossom Chukwujeku gets married versus Blossom Chukwujeku and wife break up. Which one would people naturally run to first? The sad
So
one,
it's
and
just
it's a sad
human
reality.
thing,
It really is sad.
but
It really is sad.
nothing we can do about
Oh,
it.
But I
wow.
think the best thing we can just say, and that was why Chibaba did that thing that time with the Annie drama, and where he was acting like they had issues, and then he came out and said, look, I just did this for bands. You guys, you celebrate bad news too much. So we can do better, and your rant is, I guess, a call out to us to do better.
Let's do better,
and
guys.
celebrate good news more.
All right, let me
All right,
move on.
moving on, it's time for a quick recap of the entertainment news.
Alrighty guys, we told you about Blackface, yes, and he discussed his African Queen remake and why Plantation Boys reunion might never happen.
Yes, and in the foreign scene, Larry Harvey debunks pregnancy rumors.
We also told you Kevin Hart leaves the hospital after 10 days.
Yeah, exciting stuff. All right, guys, let us know you're watching the show by calling us on the numbers. That would be on the screen any minute from now. And you can also tweet to us. It's at TVC Connect with the hashtag eSplash on TVC. We're on Instagram as well, and it's the same handle. We'll take a break now, guys. And when we come back, our guest will be right here in the studio.
Yes.
You guys, epic stuff. You want to see her.
Yes.
I promise you. If say her and you want to see her, stay there, don't go anywhere. We'll be back. Hint.
All right, thanks so much, guys, for staying here. And we told you that the next time you see us, you'll see us with our guest. So who is our guest today? Well, Faladili already gave you a hint, so you know that the person is female. Like, yeah, she's an Nigerian actress, producer, and pastor. The actress, who is currently serving as an evangelist, is popular for roles in Breaking Heart, Abuja Connection, Shadows of Tears, and so many more. Please welcome the one and only Apostle Eucharia Anunobi! Good to have you here.
Wow! Oh my goodness!
Good to have you here.
Thank
So
you.
these days, what do we see? We see you on social media. Then you are preaching to us. You pick a topic. It's so enjoyable. Like, I love it when you dress so well, and then you tell people, like, you make them know that Christians are meant to look good.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So you're going out, and then you're still telling us about, you know, Jesus loves you, and I'm like,
But I'm sure we'll still talk about that, but I think I gave up on meeting you in my life. Because, I mean, I grew up watching you, and then it's almost like you're never going to meet these people in your life. And so it's so nice to meet you.
Yes,
Epic
it
for
is.
all of us here, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I know one thing that stuck out from movies back then was how well you spoke.
Thank
like, it was
you.
just, you can give it to Eucharia Anunobi to deliver those lines. And so it's so nice to see you. And
Thank you.
So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, you still act, and I saw an interview about you, and then you were saying that that you are an apostle right now does not mean you will not still act.
Absolutely.
Some roles.
Yes, well, I thank God for this interview, and I thank God, for today. Thank God for TVC, and I thank God for the movie industry. But a lot of times, a lot of people just assume that the moment you're a minister, you're a preacher, it's not said for you to pray, to act or to work. And I'm like, where did this concept come from? First and foremost, I say to them, to be a minister, to be a preacher, to be a pastor in whatever capacity, in whatever function that you know you have the unction in, is not payable. So what you're actually doing is selfless service to humanity. Because what you have been blessed with, you're giving it out freely. So nobody's paying you. Of course, people could bless you, people could dash you things. You can dash me an airplane if you want after this interview. You know, they could give you a car, but nobody's paying you a salary because you don't go and negotiate and say, you know what, I want you to pay me this. I want you to give me this amount of money before I can preach. So it's not something you are going to collect money from, you know, remuneration. So therefore, it's not, in quote, a career. Maybe I hear sometimes, maybe in the diaspora, in some countries, there are people, even in this our nation, who probably are also, you know, on payroll. But one thing I do know, the moment you're on payroll, your destiny will be stunted. Your destiny will be limited. No true pastor, you know, who knows his or her onions will ever be on payment.
Wow.
So naturally, you have a career. And I tell people, my careers are modeling, acting, and of course, I'm a businesswoman. Of course, I write as well. So being ordained as a preacher, please, has not and will not stop me from acting. I am going to act until I'm 150, even 200.
Is it going to change? Because we're talking, I think it was yesterday, about Idi Kabasa. So he's a musician. I don't know how well you follow music, or Nigerian music, but he's a musician. And
a
of course, he became a pastor some years ago. So we're saying how, oh my gosh, how can you be singing about booty and then, you know, you're a pastor as well. So being an apostle now, has it changed the kind of roles that you take?
Let me say this. Like I have a producer that brought a script for me, and before she came over, she called me and said, Apostle Eucharia, I want to do a Christian movie, and I feel that you would just be the best to do it. And I said, first, can I correct you? There's nothing like a Christian movie.
Okay.
And then because one, the Bible tells me in the book of Colossians that all things were created by him. There was nothing that was ever created that was not created by him. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I don't know if you understand me. The prostitutes were created by God. The arm robbers were created by God. The lynchers, the frosters, whoever, were all created by God. And from all these things, we pick out topics, issues that we will use for movies. So saying that, oh, now it's a Christian movie, I say, so is that one a devil movie? I don't know if is that something like a devilish movie or something like that, if you know where I'm coming from. So in quote, that I am a preacher, for me, is not supposed to stop me from acting or carrying out any role.
No matter the role.
But, no. Let's get this understanding. When we say no matter the role, which role really is it that wouldn't matter? Is it to play an arm robber? Because if you're playing a prostitute, nobody's going to be sleeping with you, as it were. He's just acting. And then if you're playing the love scene, well, unless for those who are doing, you know, the X-rated movies, I don't know if you understand me. You're not getting naked. I don't know if you understand me. And if you talk about the necking, hugging and
necking.
holding.
Let's use that, necking. Thank you. I like that.
If you talk about the necking, nobody really goes out to read the necking quote. I don't know if you understand me. It's all let me use the word, it's all manipulated. Absolutely. Because one, if you say, for instance, you're kissing a guy and you're carried away, that means you never had a relationship in your life before you came on set. That's what it means. Oh, no, absolutely.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. Because when you come on set, you're coming with the mindset of business, mindset of working. Because are you telling me for every role you do that you're going to meet a different lover? You keep on...
You know, the argument with that statement is that most people would say that being someone who is supposed to be spirit-filled and actually now portraying that lifestyle, it might not even be in acting, it could be in your like personal appearances, what you wear, how you look, that it might be lackadaisical. It might be you blowing hot and cold and basically making whoever it is that you're following, because obviously as a huge actress that you are, you already have a mass following, and then you're also saying, this is the way, I believe in God, and at the same time, your movies are almost seemingly saying something different. I think it feels like it's a conflicting message. I think that's where most people come from.
Okay, well, most people, I'm sorry to say, are ill-informed.
Are you really sorry to say?
Well, and most people are always often answer before they think. If you understand where I'm coming from. And then we're coming from one word. That word is what? Acting. And acting is defined as becoming something that you're not. Wearing an embodiment of characterization that has nothing to do, nothing, I mean nothing on the line, with nothing to do with your persona.
Which is why I said, what about when you bring it to your personality? I'll give you an example of this pastor, Megan Good's husband. She is an actress, but if you see her personality alone, she's kind of like on the, I don't want to say on the wild side, but she's very, very expressive about herself. Now, people are coming for her. They were coming for her recently about a magazine cover that she did where she was scantily clad. And this was not her acting. This was her being on the magazine cover in less than a bra and panties and everything. And she's a pastor's wife. So people are saying, what kind of image are you putting out there? Sometimes if it's acting, we can say, okay, this is you playing or putting on a character. But what happens when you are that, like your personality is like that?
Okay, I also come from the point of view, you say she's a pastor's wife. Now, okay, let's... No, I'm coming. Let's get it straight now. I want to go back so that we can understand a little bit of my own background. I hope you know I started as a model. And I was once a beauty queen, okay? And I'm still modeling. And then, started, continuing with my acting, okay? So most often your background determines how far and how, you do a whole lot of stuff, okay? Now, we should take into cognizance the fact that, yes, when we talk about the words being spirit-filled, it means that you're actually doing everything in relation with reverence to Him, our God, Almighty, our Creator. Okay, and then there should be decorum in certain things. Like I don't support nudity. I don't support obscenity. Okay, because
being a model.
Of course. Yes, I know when I started modeling in my teens and everything. Yeah, I was. What do you call the fashion designers' delight, because I model for so many of the fashion designers in Nigeria. I mean, for those, so I am what you call the celebrity model. You understand me? And then I have a good body. Of course, I say I have a good body. And then tell me about it. And so there was no show that was done that I was not the lead model to bring out the catwalk show. I don't know if you understand me. But then I've always been someone that I don't believe that nudity should be what you're going to sell. Because one, I believe in the act of a little bit of mystery. Because the man, the male gender, they like to poke, they like to look, they like to search. So you need to give them something to search for. I don't believe in, bearing it all. You understand me? There must be some kind of mystery about the woman. I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from. Because
something to look forward to.
Absolutely.
Yes.
No. I'm not even saying something that's out of context. Now, hear me. The Bible says after Adam had been created, right? The Bible records that the whole entire earth was asleep. And I just say it's not just sleep, it was slumber, because slumber is near death. Before the creation of womanhood, before the creation of femininity. So I think a lot of women miss it. Hold on, I'm coming. Okay. You understand me? So if, I want you to think, you can go back and read the Bible again. If the whole of creation was in slumber, while the feminine gender was being fashioned out. Crafted. I love that word. Crafted. God, the ultimate Yahweh, ensured that even the man had to sleep. It means that even the small sugar ant was even sleeping. Yeah, it means also that the leaves were also sleeping. Why? So he doesn't want distraction. He created woman in mystery before she came forth. So why would you want to go and bear everything?
Wow, on that note, yes, we have to go on this quick break, and we will definitely be back with our guest still here.
And maybe take calls, actually, because I know people would be excited to talk to you this afternoon. So let's do it. We've been talking to the one and only Apostle first, before actress. Eucharia Anunobi, she's here. And she's been taking us to church, guys. Killing us. And before we move on, guys, don't forget that you can call us. Yes, I'm sure you guys want to talk to her. So call in and keep it short, please. Just go straight to it. Don't tell us your life story first. Just go straight to it so you can talk to her.
Of course, you were going to round off something there.
Yeah.
Yes, I was going to talk about when you were talking about Megan Good, you know, being scantily dressed and everything. And for me, like I would say, it's there needs to be a balance. And then when we talk about, as it were, spirituality, you really can't be exposing your nudity if you are taking my theory when I was talking about, you know, God putting everything in creation to slumber before, you know, the manifestation of the feminine gender. So for the female, you can't say you're a preacher and then you are going about exposing, you know, because if you've shown everything, then what is there? You know, there should be decorum. There should be some, you know, panache. There should be some class.
I love that, panache.
You know, so you cannot be a pastor's wife and be a pastor in whatever, you know, capacity, because even if you're a pastor's wife, you're still, you know, by the grace of God, could become a pastor because, you know, you're also his armor bearer. So you cannot go ahead and say, oh, because I am a model, because I'm a model. I started modeling from my teens, and then, you know, both, you know, print and photographing, and I'm still doing that. You know, it comes to a point that you need to be able to, you know, waive some things a little bit. Just like when you were asking me about what kind of roles will I do, or will I stop, you know, playing some role. I basically will do all roles, but you cannot expect me and say, oh, I should go nude on TV. What for? I mean, is it the nudity that's going to sell the movie? I don't know if you know. For me, is it seeing my boob, my boom that will sell the movie? So for me, no, that's not it. It's a no. You need to have some decorum. You know, there must be some, you know, moderation.
So we've done some throwing it back, and of course talked about you as a model and as an actress. But yeah, of course you have new work. You have something new out now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. We know we had Eucharia on the show on Tuesday, who produced the film, and of course you're an actor in it. So tell us about it.
First and foremost, I say Uru Eke is a fantastic person and an actor, you know, an amazing, you know, role interpreter. And being a producer, I say she's humane and she's wonderful. And so for the movie, old time's sake, I repeat, it's a marvel. We don't want to spill the bean until the premiere, which is on the 14th. But you know,
this month.
Oh yeah, oh, in the next few days.
You played.
Oh, I played the role of her mother, you know, and then like I did in one of the little interviews that was done while I was on set. I know I played the role of a mother who would want, you know, the best for her child, who believes in family, who believes in marriage, who believes that everything about family should be upheld. You know, of course, that's not the whole movie. That's just a little clips. And then,
Give out the whole movie.
Yeah.
Go check out some clips.
Oh, that you'll be shocked that you will never be able to guess what the movie's all about. But then,
really?
oh yeah, trust me.
Take your word for it.
Yeah, but for me, it was a masterpiece.
One of the things I loved most about this particular movie is the fact that the storyline seems so very refreshingly different. And it just makes me want to ask you, I mean, you have been in Nollywood for a very long time. You have been acting in like over 90 movies. Now, what do you think about the new Nollywood? I mean, in terms of storytelling, in terms of acting, directing, what do you think about new Nollywood?
I've heard that word before, new Nollywood. I'm wondering what it is.
Okay. Because it's not like
Is it new Nigeria?
would know. It just means
The
that
contemporary, the
exactly.
new people that you have, the new crop of actors that you have.
Are they new Nigerians?
Oh, wow.
No, because I'm sorry, I abhor that word. There's nothing for me. There's nothing like new Nollywood.
Okay.
Because if you tell me there's new, that means a new Nigerian, a new USA, a new Germany.
Okay, but would you say that Nollywood has
If you say
changed?
new entrants,
Yeah.
Of actors.
Of
yeah,
actors.
I'll buy that. I'm sorry. Don't mind me. I believe in foundations, you know, should be done well. For the Bible tells me, it should say, do not remove the ancient landmarks. I don't know if you understand me. So I don't believe, what is new Nollywood? Is there an old
Okay, what do you
Nollywood?
think about the new entrants?
Yeah, because we will always have new people coming in. New children are being born every day. Yeah, you know, I think, I'm sorry to say, some of them are not detailed. Some of them are not, they don't seem to know where they are going to. They are not thinking about leaving an inheritance, a legacy. They're not thinking about what people will say tomorrow, you know, and they're too much in a hurry, you know. And I would want to say that God help all of us, that some of them probably will listen to me and probably listen to orders and then take out more time to read the script and then, you know, understand what the writer is trying to give out and be able to be more patient and be more humane and be more passionate and give.
All right, let's pick this call. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, good afternoon. I'm sure you want to talk to her. Just
Hi,
go straight
Peter.
to it. Peter.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm a first-time caller.
Hi.
Okay, so do you...
First-time caller.
Oh, hi, welcome to
hi,
the show.
Peter.
So do you want to talk to the guest?
Yeah, I just want to say I love your films you are doing. I really doing great.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Thank you, Peter.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for calling, Peter.
All right. So, you know, you've talked about what you don't like about the new crop of actors. But then would you say that these things that you mentioned about them, would you say that during your, I mean, you're still acting, but then being
When I
a vet, when you started, would you say that you didn't see some of these things in the actors we had then?
Yes, of course, I'm not saying that it wasn't there, but it was not as much as it is now. Why? Because you would say Nollywood was just in the formative years. So everybody wanted to give their best to ensure that they give out a good craft. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Now everybody is more interested in being famous, and sometimes I'm famous for what? You know, you've just done one movie and you say, oh, I'm a star.
That's how we say
I'm
it.
like,
Yeah.
star. For you, what even defines you as a star has to do with the awards you have received. And then I'm like, you've not received an award.
Well,
And
it's
then,
not till you receive awards that we can call you a star, do you think?
excuse me, what do you think? Okay, you give me a definition of it.
Maybe not, but then you're the person here, so, and you are the one that's in this industry.
No, but I want to know. You understand me? It's just like you're saying you're a preacher and you've not been ordained.
Because some people even complain about the awards they give these days, and they say that they just give them that, you know, the award doesn't mean that the person who has not received the award
because you
is
can
not
rig
doing well.
awards, yeah.
Because they rig awards too.
The people who are talented, and it's not until they get that validation before they can say, look, I'm a star. And they say, call yourself a star before other people even call you that.
Well, of course, I believe in, you know, like what you call self-promotion. But come on, you know, don't give honor to yourself. Just like saying exalting yourself before you're exalted.
Yeah,
That's the simple, you know, truth.
Okay.
You understand me? Yeah.
Wow. I have like 1,001 questions to ask you, because I read another interview where you said that people should forget about the makeup and everything because we know that you have been through a lot and we empathize with you and we love you still.
Yes, we do.
You know, we do. And you were saying that you still cry and we want you to be happy all the time. Why is that?
Well, I have to be happy because one, God tells me that you say in all things, we should give him thanks. And I cannot be saddened because one, when you grow in God, growing in God is knowing God's word. And as you know God's word, his spirit gets to be inbuilt in you. It builds you up to the point where you understand that everything upon the face of the earth is vanity. So I actually will say, don't empathize with me. And rather, just like the Bible will say, prepare yourself for calamity will definitely befall all of us. So when it does befall you, will you be able to be prepared?
Would you be prepared?
To be able to carry it?
Yeah.
Because for me, I rejoice, I am happy, and I lost my only child, and I'm single, and it looks like menopause is around the corner, and then people are like, my God, but she's happy. I am happy because God says, I will do a new thing. God says restoration is in my hand. God says, you know, in his word, especially in Luke 1:37, say, for with God, nothing is impossible.
Yes.
So I don't want to say
That's a wonderful way to wrap up
Amazing
this
stuff. Yeah.
conversation.
I really wanted you to just do something for us for old time's sake. And I don't know if my producers will let us because of time. Can we just?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So yes. So let's just do just something, just a little monologue. We have to go. We have to let you
Because
go.
we miss you acting, but just something very short.
Okay. Hi, John. Oh my God. What did you say? Yeah, I'm actually using, okay, I'm using the hands-free. Okay, now I put the phone on my ear. Can you hear me better right now? What did you say your mother said? Wait, that I'm 43 and I may not have a child? Okay, but let me tell you something, John. We are in the 21st century. And science has done so many things for us. Yeah, I mean, if I'm not able to conceive naturally, why not? We can adopt a baby, we can do IVF, we can do IOU and everything. What did you say? You see, mommy!
Message in the very short movie we just saw.
Do it, all right? So, guys, we are taking a look at the Burna Boy discussion and that everyone has been talking about on social media. But before we proceed, I have to, of course, introduce our guest, and his name is Shay Taylor.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Good to have you here.
All right, so let's just dig right in. So, Burna Boy had a show in Atlanta, I believe it was.
Yes.
And fans going crazy for him. And then Burna Boy goes, hey, you. Like,
Take this,
Yeah.
leave my show.
Leave my show. And everybody's like, but he paid to be there, and then you're just gonna ask him to leave, and you're even promising to refund him.
Because they're boring.
Exactly, because you're
He
just standing
wasn't
there.
dancing, he wasn't hyped, you know. I feel like there's certain people, different people react to music differently, yeah? I mean, you could be the type of person to just listen and just watch your favorite artist perform and just move your head, you know, but I mean, I felt what he did was wrong. Wasn't needed. It wasn't, I mean, you shouldn't have.
But
Come
somebody
on.
was saying that's Burna Boy. That's how he does his thing.
Well, he's spontaneous. I mean, we all know that. I mean, he's somebody that can wake up one morning and say, you know, I'm not singing again, that kind of thing. I'm not going to do this show, that kind of thing. But regardless, I feel like your fans made you who you are, so you should kind of like respect them.
Okay, so let's take a look at the clip for the sake of those who don't know what we're talking about.
I stop this guy from this place meet. You guys are telling me. This guy too, you in green. Why are you here? Hello, you. Why are you here? Because of you. Okay, excuse. Security, carry this guy come up from my front. You can go to the back though. You can't stay in the front. The front is...
So I didn't see him giving them the cash or giving
he
the guy
did.
the
He
cash.
did.
He did?
He did, yeah. I don't think what he gave the guy was the actual fee, because I mean, I felt like he probably gave the guy $100 or something, but like, I don't think he actually gave him
But then just said, didn't send him totally away, but said, go away from the front row or something. Was that?
But no, he first said leave, then said, you know, you
leave
can leave.
Yeah, if you want to stand around, go to a church.
It's not needed.
Go to a blip church.
I think, again, with Burna Boy, what I always like to say is manner of approach. Sometimes he's trying to communicate something, but the way he says it now becomes offensive. Truly, what are you actually doing on the front row if you're just going there
You're not hyped, right?
to stare and be
But I mean,
like...
for him to be in the front, I mean, from Nigerian concerts, it's quite hard and difficult for you to get in front. Now, you manage, you struggle,
Exactly.
you are in front. I feel like, I mean, however you want to react to his music is your choice. It's not his choice. His choice is to entertain you.
Is it?
I mean, yeah.
And then, okay, so imagine I'm a musician and I'm like, oh, no, and then you're just there, not singing along, not giving me any vibe. Other people sing along.
Other people were
people
making
sing along.
noise, right? And other people were singing along. And the thing is, this happens all the time. We always say how Nigerian crowds are hard. So fine, you want to address that, but this is, I don't know if this is the best
When in
way.
his defense, I feel he was irritated by the guy just standing there and not doing anything.
Okay, so finally, what message do you think this whole drama should send out to Nigerian artists?
Be nice to your fans. Your fans are the ones that actually buy your music, stream your music, listen to your vibe. Be nice to them. That's just it. Be nice. Encourage them. So that, I mean, because next time, they might think like, oh, why would I have to pay so much money and get embarrassed at the end? So be nice.
And like people are scared to attend events, like I could just attend
Burna Boy will punish me to kneel down and raise up my hands. So let
Or
me
just kick me out.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, Shay Taylor.
Thank you,
And we have to have you back very soon.
Definitely.
I like your vibe.
All right, finally, tomorrow is Friday. Do not forget to send your selfie request, upload your selfie request, and be sure to include Pepsi in a creative way and win a ticket to see Hobbs and Shaw. Remember to tag at TVC Connect and Pepsi when you do it to stand a chance. You can go on our Instagram page at TVC Connect for more details. Okay, thank you so much for being a part of this throwback edition of E-Splash. My name is Honeypot, and of course, I'll catch you tomorrow.
Yes, we will. I'll be here as well, guys. My name is Foladele, and we'll see you tomorrow, God willing. Mwah.
Yes, guys, and my name is Amanda Dara, and I'll see you next week.